Well, limit the rights. One of the things record companies now do is you don't even have the right in certain circumstances to go and perform to television without the record company's consent. Now, I understand that the record company may not want you to go out and do a DVD of a concert that you perform, but for example, let's assume you're in a motion picture and you have a speaking role in a motion picture. Technically, under your recording contract, you don't have a right to permit the film company to take that theatrical motion picture and put it on a DVD. You have to get a release for it. Let's assume you want to perform as a sideman because your best buddy has got a group. You want to go sing one song with him, as a duet, as a side person, whatever. Without the consent of your record company, you can't do that. So those are restrictions that when you go and you negotiate, you've got to deal with to try and get them less stringent. Insofar as what does a record company do to reduce your royalty rates? Every record company takes they start out with whether or not it's a wholesale price or a retail price. In the case of Sony, they pay you on 90% of the sub-distributor price. Then they pay you on 85% of net sales. They take a CD reduction, and then they multiply that times the royalty rate in order to get the number of pennies they pay. If you get paid on a retail basis, they don't take off the 10% for the sub-distributor price, but again, they deduct free goods, they deduct the CD reduction, and a container charge, which unfortunately at 25% is fictitious because it probably costs only about a quarter to make the container and you're being charged $2. There are some companies that do pass-throughs, see-throughs. Concord Records, for example, makes it very simple. If they sell a record for $17.98, they'll multiply that times your royalty rate, and that'll equal the number of pennies. So, for example, if they were going to pay you 9% on a $17.98 record, that works out to about, I think, $1.60. But if you got 14% on a normal deal, less the container charge, less the CD reduction, less the this, less the that, it might still work out to the same $1.60. So the question is not the royalty rate. The question is, how many pennies are you being paid for the sale of a top-line record? The other major dispute which artists have with record companies today is that the record companies consider a download to be a sale, and we who represent artists consider a download to be a license. The difference being, if it were a license, you as the artist would probably wind up with about maybe 30 or 35 cents for every download. If you get paid on a royalty rate basis, you probably get 4 or 5 cents. So that is a major dispute going on between artists and record companies.